Drop it.
And what's going on? All right. How is everybody doing? Let me just go ahead and do this really quick. Make sure we have audio. Okay, so we got audio. We're good. All right. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? Okay. So, guys, I want to talk about secrets to being a day trader, or actually transitioning to becoming a day trader, right? Because when a lot of people think of day trading, they think of quitting job, or they think of Lambos, big house. They think of financial independence and blah, 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 right? Now, here's the thing, right? As a day trader initially, the thought process is additional income to what you're already doing, right? You think about like what day trading is how efficient it is. You can have a day job, trade for 15 minutes, and not have to work DoorDash or Uber or Walmart third shift, or even have a second job, right? Or maybe your wife, you want her to be the homemaker. And so, to help, she stays home with the kids, etc. You're working, maybe trading, making an additional $100 to $200 a day. Okay. So that is the expectation that you need to have initially, right? For whatever reason, and I blame social media and YouTube for this, and I blame prop firms for this as well, is that we champion making thousands and thousands of dollars a day. We champion lifestyle. We champion, money. Unfortunately, I mean, my freaking intro is as to money, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, that's my real life. I mean, that's not a commercial. There's never life. It's like a life, right? And it took me 15 years to do it. We need to sort kind of like just reel in our expectations, because, okay, this is what happens. Let me show you exactly. Guys, you want to see exactly what happens? Let me show you something. Let's do this, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on over to the 1 minute here. We're going to use our system, right? And we're going to say, okay, well, RSI is about 50 right here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to buy. And I'm down to 100, whatever. We're going to go ahead and zoom on in, right? We zoom on in. I made $800 and $1,100. I'm done, right? And then what happens, right? I made $1,100 just doing that, right? Working our way up to the GT on the 1 minute. And then you know what happens? Oh, I could do this again, right? Now, again, I just used the 1 minute for example, right? Because the 1 minute is what was moving for me. But this is what happens. This is where the market sucks you in, where you just get caught up on how easy it is, especially with our system here at Trade 1348. Guys, check it out, trade1348.com, right? And then once you've evolved with Trade 1348, guys, you all should be over at Game Trades as well, right? There's a difference in breed. There's a difference in community. It's just a big difference, right? I would not be adding more to the 1348 community. It's built out. It's done, right? The evolution continues over at Game Trades. So when you get started trading, it's 1348. When you're ready to jump into the next level, it's 1348 plus Game Trades, all right? But what we just highlighted was easy abuse of the system. Seeing that, hey, we had a green band here, made $1,100 really quick, right? And then you're like, hey, let's do it again. Right? Once the market sucks you in, that's all you want to do. Well, you make that $1,100 and you're ready to fucking fire your balls already. Now, that's not the way it works. Right? That's not how it works. Okay. Yeah, you made $1,100, but that $1,100 is used to help you build your port. Then your port is to help you build your wealth. And then your wealth is to help you build your income. Okay. Now, that's the mindset you need to have. Now, people are jumping into day trading, trying to day trade for income. Like, no, income is actually the last evolution. right? You're a young grasshopper, so you're trading to build your port. So you can see, like, hey, through repetition, I could actually do this. And your port will reward you slowly. Then it builds wealth, right? So we start with a $25,000 port, get to a $100,000 port. We now have wealth. With a $100,000 port, you can generate income with that, right? Especially if we're risking 1% per trade, $1,000, and risk to reward 1.5. Whoa, making $1,500 a day. That's going to be at about what, like $31,000 a month, or potentially 33% returns. Now, some will argue like, oh, well, you can't do 1% a day. I have students who are absolutely murdering it and doing exactly that using the system. And of course, this will be released for Gabe Trades. I want to show you guys something. This will be released for Gabe Trades. Hot Potato is actually working on it. Okay. We're working on it, but what we're doing is we're checking our own work. And I want to give you guys some insight as to what's really happening. Okay. Now, I have an indicator right here. This is going to be trend tracker internal. Right? This is basically internal. And let me go ahead and hide this really quick. We're going to let this load. Now some loading to do. Right. Let's see. It should give us. No. Oh, that's not the right one. Sorry, guys. Let me let me get the right one. It's the trend tracker, trend volume tracker. No. Trend stats. There we go. Jesus. Okay. I'm blind. My eyes are failing me. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit larger. And Hot Potato is going to explain what this means, and we're fine tuning it as we're capturing data in real time. But I want to show you guys something. Great. Basically, at the very top, and this is for NQ, and this would apply for MNQ. This is our system here. Basically, the average number of candles. I don't know if you guys can see that here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Let's do that. Make it a little bit bigger. Go down to huge. I want you guys to see this. Right. It's yeah. Thank you, Hot Potato. A little late there, but I got it. Okay. So for our basically our bullish setups and bearish setups, our trade designs, the average number of candles are 10. Let that sink in. Some of you are just holding for half a candle. So the average number of candles in trend with our trade design when it's bullish is 10 candles. Okay. Then trade design down, the average number of candles is 9, which makes a whole lot of sense, right? Because up until Trump decided he wanted to, use his big dick energy, go out to China, what was that, 245% tariffs? Holy crap. Everybody's ordering from Alibaba now. Get it factory direct, remove the middleman. Let's see. Now, Hot Potato is giving us a little disclaimer here that the win rate is a little misleading. Win rate and okay, yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about that, right? Let's get back to this. So the win rate is a misleading number. The trade designs often do win, but from what I understand as a baseline, the 61% win rate is how many trades actually achieve a 1-to-1 minimum. Right? It's a minimum. So you think about it, you enter a trade design, you got a 6 out of 10 chance of getting a 1-to-1 minimum. Wow. Right? That doesn't include then going ahead and say, okay, well, I'm in the trade design. Let me go ahead, bring it down to break even. So it's either 1-to-1 or you're break even. Just really think about that for a second. Really think about that for a second. Okay. Now back to this, right? This is assuming one contract. Again, as of recent, the bearish reward, of course, we've been downtrending. Bearish reward with one NQ is $1,757. The bullish reward is 952. So because of this, and what it's doing is like it's compiling data as far back as I think the number of candles or the number of candle limitations, but let's just say as I remember going as far back as December, right? We've been compiling this data. And so that's telling me one NQ or one MNQ is probably all you really need. And this is actually valid or valuable insight, especially for the guys who are trading prop firms, right? Of how much that trade can absolutely go against you if you're on the wrong side of it. Does it make sense? Right? Now, hot potato, just throw a wrench in here. It doesn't take into account the STB line or the exit signal that comes from trend tracker, which is our yellow marker. So if let's say we got in this trade, this yellow marker here would tell you, hey, maybe break even or take profit, right? Now, this trade did give you the obligatory right here at this very moment, that 1%. Now, had you waited for the break here, right here, had we waited. Now, this doesn't account for the optimized trade set. It doesn't account for it, right? This data is going naked trade designs here and go, right? It's not accounting for the optimized trade. Now, the optimized trade here just gave you all the monies. So, excuse me. What we're doing is we're also improving the win rate and the likelihood of you hitting a 1-to-1. Right? Now, we have some other data, which is really cool here. Considering the nature of the trend of what we've been doing since December, guys. The bullish risk to reward is 1.79. The bearish risk to reward is 2.4. That is the average take on the trade with the system. Again, not accounting for using the STB line to give you a sense of, hey, I get to break even, or let me bring it down to 1%, maybe 1.5%, and just take that profit. Because guys, all you need is 1.5%, and you become a millionaire, what, in 2 years? Right? I did my job. Now the question is, are you going to do yours? And trade by the rules and have a game plan every single time. The data does not lie. I am the only YouTuber out there who will go ahead, right, alongside my trusted sidekick, Cop Data, who will put data out there and just say, look, this is real. This is as real as it gets. Anybody can go ahead and independently backtest our system and come to the same conclusion. It just works. It will make you money. So what is the point of this? Well, everyone at Dave Chase will have this data. It's trailing data. So it's always going to recompute over time, okay? But it's also going to give you that vote of confidence that you need. Like, hey, I'm only going to enter on trade designs. I'm not going to create my own trades. So this takes me to my next secret as a day trader, right? The reason why most day traders fail is because there's too many systems and improvisational moments. Think about that, right? When you think about like what ICT is, there's so many different gems and points, right? Where okay, well, if it does this, we're going to do this. Now, if it does, this in the London session, or it does this in the New York session, this is what we're going to do. It doesn't make much sense, right? It's always altering, right? And you got to go through your glossary of strategies, right? And make an attempt to identify what's happening, then apply what you think you know to what you think is happening, because, well, what you think is happening still might be speculation, but maybe you are not competent enough to even find the right tool set to apply to what's happening. So here at 3040, what we do is we say, trade the same way every single time. We don't need to improvise. It's the same setup every single time. No improvising needed. Does that make sense, guys? It's we're putting it out there. Nobody does this. Like you guys got to think about it, right? Like Hot Potato is also a trader. If this shit does not add up, he loses faith in me. He loses faith in me. It's, if he loses faith in me, it's not a good thing. Okay. He's like, well, why am I building these indicators? Yeah, anybody want to be part of a losing team? Right. So I actually like that he goes ahead and attempts to be the check and balance for me, even though I'm hardly ever wrong. See, I have an obsession with this, an unreal obsession, and a type of obsession that most of you will not match. The type of obsession that allows me to be the teacher, that allows me to put systems together and show it out. It's an obsession that's unmatched by most people. Hey, call it autism. I don't know. Okay. So, just trust this system, guys. You don't overthink it. We've done it for you. Don't improvise. There's nothing to improvise here. What you see is what you get. So let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to take, we're going to remove the trend stats here. We don't need this anymore. And so let's really look at this. We had the trade here, or we had the trade here, and then we were told here, no, right? Of course, we have our own sense of obligation to close the trade once we have in 1-to-1 or 1.5-to-1, and or protect our entry, or at least bare minimum protect 1%, so that we can move on to the next trade. Okay, when you guys create moments of improvising. Okay, now this isn't necessarily a moment of improvising, if you ask me, right? Because this was a trend down for a trend up, showing a trend down. I then go down, and we see what happens. Now the system is telling me it's going down. I can't improvise. Now if we go ahead and we zoom in, just like that, with the system telling me it's going down, $700 I appreciate that. Done. Now, done. Right. Now, the other secret to day trading is you have to keep your expectations in check, right? The dollar amounts have to align with what your skill set is. And this is the truth. If your skill set is of novice, then your dollar expectation should not be that of a pro. If your emotions are something that easily gets swayed, and if you can easily be seduced by the market, right? And say, oh my God, this candle's going up, I'm going to go bullish with this. Then you should keep your expectations small. For a day trader to be successful, and this is a fact, they need to do the same thing every trade, every day, for at least 3 months. And not be a systems whore, bounce around, and not try to, what do you call it? You just create Voltron with so many different types of systems, right? We don't want that meshing. We don't do that. Okay. What you think you know, just cut it, subscribe to the system. When you do that, you're able to look at this, right? Yes, we don't want to Frankenstein a system. Because I trust combining systems, yeah. Because I trust what my system does, I can make like splitting decisions in the moment because I trust my system, right? We know the trend's down. Right. We had a green band. Let me show you guys. Right. We know the trend's down. We had a green band up. All right. We had failure here. And then, hey, comes right back down on the break of a level, brings us back down to this region, knowing where, hey, this is where price wants to be. Okay. And so this is an opportunity for making money. And we could make those split decisions if we submit to the system and play by the rules, right? So if you get a band going up, we're not going to go short. And if we got GT and everything trending down, we're not going to go long here. So what makes the most sense? We make the most sense when we get the band and the STB line also red and say, hey, we're going down. Okay. If you want the STB line, get on over to Gate Trades. Guys, Gate Trades is an extension of 1348. It'll help you step your game up, guaranteed. Now, that's the thing. If you can be disciplined, you can make money. Right. I didn't have to think about like, oh my God, there's a gap fill or there's a fair value gap. There's this, there's that. Like, no, this is a retracement. I'm not thinking about fibs. I'm not thinking about anything. Okay. I'm not thinking about anything here. It's, oh, we know the trend. We know the dominant trend. We know RSI is below 50 here. We know that it's below its moving average. We know the trend's down. We're going down, baby. Oh, oh, oh. Stock. Let's also talk about that. Right. So learning to hold. Now, yes, that's something that I work with my students in longevity club, right? Because a lot of my students are holding for half a fucking candle, or at least they started. That's what they're doing. They're holding the candle, right? Not even a whole 5-minute candle. Then you got some students who are holding too long, right? They're holding too long. You'll usually see the discrepancy. And when they're losing the trade, they're holding that losing trade way too long. But then when they're actually winning, they're cutting that winner too fast, right? So how do we hold longer? Okay. Well, there's a couple of ways of doing this, and this is actually game planning your day, Scott. Okay. Game planning your day. Let's say your day, the game really, that's you. Let's say your day, you're like, today I'm making 1.5%. You want your first trade, you see it comes down to 1%, see it consolidating, struggling to 0.7, take it. There's no need to have any type of bravado and say, okay, well, I'm going to hold through this. It doesn't make much sense, right? Because, we can't go ahead and say, potentially I could make money. No, we have to make it a reality, right? So we talked about that yesterday on the stream. What I want you to do is like, all right, my game plan is 1.5%. I entered the trade. There's 2 ways to approach it, right? If you want to hold longer, you enter the trade. You have 1%, you see consolidation, 0.75, secure that, wait for the next trade design, maybe get a 0.5 or 0.75, you've reached your goal. Or you go ahead, enter the trade, okay? It's in your favor. You really think it's going to get down to the point of 1.5, right? There's a lot of room between, your entry and a level that allows for the 1.5. Break it down to break even. So now you want to hold longer. You can hold longer in peace. Right. But you also have to assume that it can be all for nothing. Right. And I think that right there becomes the $1 million question. Do I want to make the money, or am I okay with not making anything? We subscribe to that mindset. It's really, really interesting. When we subscribe to that mindset of like, I'm going to leave it at break even. Whatever happens, happens. That is truly a gambler mindset. Let's not shit ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? I do it sometimes. I don't care, right? But it's a gambler's mindset. All or nothing. That's a gambler mindset. Now, if you want to be tactical about it, you have your 1.5. That's what you're targeting, or your 1%. You got a 0.75, your first trade design. You wait for the next trade design. You get a 0.25. You get a 0.5. You're done. Go live your life. this can all happen within the first 30 minutes to an hour in the market. Right? Let's see. So to answer a question here, let's go ahead and answer this question. Get John over here. Let's see. It says, wait a minute. With math, the percentage is being such an important part. I'm struggling trying to find what's the correct answer. To take the 1% and let it run to 4%. Okay, all right. Let's. All right. Here we go. The longer or the more risk to reward you're attempting, the lower your win rate. That's the name of the game. Okay. Now, surely we can jump into a trade and it just works out in our favor. Boom. 3-1. 3-1. Holy crap, right? Then it's like behind headlights. Do we get out? Do we get out? Do we get out? No, yeah, you get out. Okay. But what you all have to understand is this. I swear I love this thing. Let me open this up. I love this thing. It is the compound calculator. Guys, you can find this in the 1348 app. Right? The compound calculator. And it's not about making the most money. It's about compounding the money. I don't care about making the most money. I care about winning the trade so that I can compound that money. Okay? So we've done this exercise time and time again. Right? You start with $5,000. Let's take a look at this. Right? We start with $5,000 with 1% compounded. 2 trading days a year. That $5,000 is going to 11x. At about to 56,000, right? So tell me something. How important does that 2 and 4% become to you? And that's the thing, right? Everyone's trying to win the trade and win the most out of the trade, as opposed to winning the day. And if you focus on winning the day, and the day only requiring 1%, it just makes your job that much easier. Everyone's trying. Out of the park. How many times does that happen? I'll take an RBI all day, every day. That's what I'm here for. Okay? Now, what the fuck, this ad? Let's get out of here. Where'd you come from? Close. Okay. So, what if we did this for 2 years? Just 1%. And it's scalable, right? But now we're not focusing on dollars. We're focusing on a percentage of. So now the money becomes a tool. When we start trying to go for the 2 to 4%, we're not treating money as a tool. We're treating it as a reward. I need you to treat money as a tool. This is what wealthy people do. They treat money as a tool first and then a reward second. So stop thinking about money as a reward and think of it more as a tool. Okay? Because if you do this for 504 days, that's 2 years. You do this for 3 years, this becomes about $8 million, right? That's 756 trading days. $9 million. I stand corrected. That's 1%. Okay? That's 1%. Now, you started with $5,000. It's going to give you, guys, it's going to tell you what you need to make. If you started today, you would only need to make $100 a day starting in June. Starting in June, guys, of which your port's $10,000. How comfortable would you be knowing that you're not overextending or leveraging yourself, and that if you Follow the tried and true method. You'll make. You'll achieve what you're trying to do. Makes sense. One guys. One thing. I know I'm an asshole because I am. Yeah. I know I'm an acquired taste because I am. But I'm not going to lie to you. This is real. Oh, wait. How much do I have to walk to lose 30 pounds? Man, I don't know. Right? Subscribe to it, guys. This was a nice reward. This guy got hurt. This guy printed. Right? This might be the Fools Over at Top Step. This might be Patrick Weiland at Big Dick Headquarters, the fucking idiot. But this here, this is the guaranteed money. Guaranteed money here, guys. It's easy. It's easy. We're taking trades here, guys. It's like, number one rule, don't trade against the trend. The trend is your friend. It's clear. Clear as day here. Trend is your friend. Like, you can make those split decision, the split second decisions, as long as you're following the trend. It becomes harder if you're going against the trend. It becomes harder if you start thinking about this candle right here, right? So this is what happens. Oh, I'm going to show you. Fuck it. I'm going to do Emmett here because I'm not giving money back. I've been giving money back to prove a point to you guys for a while. But Emmett, okay? So Emmett, we see it here. Okay, we got that wick. That wick, if that wick is going to go ahead and say, hey, go long. No, that's dumb. That's dumb. What you're waiting for, if it's going to retrace, what you want to see is that it comes up to this band, makes it a little bit cheaper, okay? Makes it a little bit cheaper, come up to the band, and then reject. Right? See, it came up. We got a rejection here. We're trying to get it close to the band. It doesn't mean we're going to go long just because it's creating this big ass wick here. How many traders, beginner traders, will go ahead and look at this wick and be like, oh, it's trying to go long. It's like, no. Right? We get the candle closed. The next candle gets us as close to the band as possible. We go ahead and we say, okay, well, we get a better entry on price to go long. Does that make clear? And you know what? I hate this. I hate trading view. It's like I can trade here, but I can't trade here because it's a different panel. And won't let me log into both panels. Whatever. Anyways, you guys get it, right? Made it cheaper for you to go short. It didn't get more expensive for you to go long. Think about what I just said there. Think about what I just said there. Think about what I said here, guys. It didn't get cheaper to go long, right? It got more expensive to go long here. It got cheaper to go short. Make sense? The ribbon will help you get the cheaper entries. The actionable moments here, but of course you guys are going to go ahead and, play continuations. So the continuations are basically here. Now, Platinum has something to add to this. The difference between 1% and 1.5 is huge in itself. Those trying to hit 5 or 10 more percent, just unrealistic for consistency and true success. Yes. Guys, you want to go back and see what that number looks like at 1.5% or even 1.1% or 1.2%? Oh, God, let me show you. This is fun. Let's see. Let's get the compound calculator back up. I'll show you just a few points, right? Let me show you. So we're going to do 1.1. And we're going to do this over 252. This is just 1.1. Right, daily. Look at that. Just a 0.1. There's a difference of about $20,000. The first year. Just a 0.1. A 0.1. There's a difference of 20. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this. Let's take it even further. Okay? Take it even further. Let's do it over. Let's do it over. Okay. Well, 0.1 makes you a millionaire in 2 years. In 3 years, we're at 9 million in 3 years. And we go ahead and we do the, what's that, 56 there. Whoa. We go from 9 million in 3 years to 19 million in 3 years just because of that 0.1 there. Astonishing, isn't it? Wild, is it not? That is nonsense. That is the power of percentages. And this is why banks get filthy freaking rich. Right? And this is why people who use money as a tool generate income. Right? So you start, you build rapport, you generate wealth, the wealth generates income. Yeah, we had it here, we had it here, we had it here. It's there. So that's the secret that most day traders do not consider. That is the smaller things. That extra little tiny point, not even a whole percentage point, the little tiny 1.1, there's a 0.1, is not even a, can change your trajectory ridiculously. It just really makes you feel stupid chasing 3% gains, 4% gains, 5% gains. You're sitting there like, oh, I got 4.5%. Like, yeah, you're like, okay, cool, congratulations, it happened. But that shouldn't be the norm. Me personally, if I get 4%, I'm bagging one, and I'm taking the 3, and I'm going. I disrespect the shit out of the market because I name it guaranteed 1%. And so if I lose the 3 after a 4, hey, no issues. But if I take the 3 and turn it into a 6 or a 3 into a 12, now that's when we start seeing like astronomical wealth, astronomical growth. But you have an obligation to secure 1%. Now, if you're that type of person who's just like, my first trade, I made 1%, I made 1.5%. If that's your first trade, just be done with the day. But if the first trade gives you 4.5%, 5%, let's go play. It's time to play. For real, it is time to play. Jeez. Okay. The thing about the compound port is that you have to give half every tax season. Big whoop. It is not half. It's going to be about like 30%. So yeah. Man, it just doesn't even matter at that point. You happily write your checks. Trust me, you happily write your checks because there is there is nothing. Oh my God, guys, come on, you're seeing it here. You are seeing it here, man. The system from the pivot point here all the way down, it's saying, let's go. And where are we going? To a level. OMG. Wow. Come on. Yeah. Trade 1348. It doesn't get any simpler. Now, Daniel Mitch says he has issues with ego. Oh, Daniel, we know. You're the fucking bane of my existence. It used to be RD. It actually turned out to be really fucking cool. Now it's you. Um, Michael Passo still trades options is great. Right? For swings, this thing works. We're talking about features. Some people go ahead and say, like, let's go ahead and look at options. It works. It works in anything. It'll work on your mother. They'll make her happy when you can buy her a house. It'll work on your mother. Anyways, so Daniel Mitch he makes a comment. I have issues with ego. If I risk to 3%, I lose it. Why the fuck are you risking 3%? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. I want to throw this cup of coffee at you. What are you doing? Like, make sure that 3% is after you put the 1%. Please do not let that be your gate entry. No, 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 no. Oh no. Yeah, no, Daniel. The reason about like you made the 4% and then you put the 1% and then you got the 3% and you lose the 3%. It's just like, so what? It wasn't yours. It wasn't yours. Just can it be profitable with the indicators alone? All right, so Danny Rich, if you banked 4% and then he lost 3%, hey, that's on you. Then walk away. Just be done. But no one should be sizing 3% out of the gate. No one. No one. Brandon, can I be profitable with the indicators alone? It's a system. Guys, stop thinking about like what we have here as indicators or systems. It's a system with rules embedded in the system with layers and layers upon layers. Everything's double checking everything else. That's what our system is. Okay. So Daniel, yeah. If you can't stomach that and if your ego takes a hit, don't do it. Don't do it. It's no point. No point. Right. Or when you've been trading free for some time, you just don't care. It becomes a tool. It's just a tool. It's a tool. But yeah, let's look at this. Oh man. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Let me see. Guys, I gotta do my check here. 1 second. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? Hey, I just gotta do my check on you in the morning. How'd you do today?
I did well, yeah. I made my 1%.
You made your 1%? You're done?
Yeah, yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I was working on the indicator.
See, this guy's working on the indicator. He was working on the data, the data and the stats.
Yeah, you wanted to listen to working on that. Yeah.
It's 7:30 in the morning for him. He goes ahead and gets that done. And then he goes and he works his day job after making his 1%. How super efficient is this man? He makes 1%. He builds me an indicator, goes to his day job. Sweet. I love it. Okay, congrats. 1% dope. Done. I'll talk to you later. Yep. That was easy. I think just 1%. I love it. And yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know. What are we doing here? Who's done for the day? Who's done for the day? Yeah. Yeah, people are done. Guys, let's look at this. Let's really look at this, okay? Let's bring this here. We had a trade design entry at 9 a.m. I didn't have to take the trade, shouldn't take the trade. We then get multiple confluences right here, and this is our market open. I tend not to like market open, right? We wait our obligatory 15 minutes. This brings us to 9:45. And 9:45, we get the pivot point, right? We get a green band. Green band says market's going up, right? But it's also going against the trend here. So if it's going against the trend, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for the band down. If we wait patiently for it, we get that. And then we ride her all the way down. This is going to be the case 9 times out of 10. If we just trade the general trend, this was 182 points all the way down to the bottom. This is just 180 points. Now, with one NQ contract, that's $3,600. MNQ, $360. $360 and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Basically 35 minutes. What we're also seeing here, if we're looking at the chart, is we have RSI all the way down here. It's depleted, right? You get it? A lot of people will make the mistake, and because it's oversold here, people will start looking for a reversal here and a bounce. It won't happen, right? You're trading against the trend. We're bullish when we have the confluences and everything says we're bullish to the upside. Until then, we're just trading the bands down. That's the beauty of the system. Super simple, guys. We're trading the bands down. That's it. There's nothing more to it. This is our general trend. Band down, yeah. Band up, no. Band down, yeah. Trend tracker tells us, let's go. Really, that simple. This is Trade 1348, guys. The simplest, easiest trading system on the planet. You don't have to know anything about the markets. You don't need to read the news. You don't have to do anything. You just need to know when those idiots are talking, which we cover that here, right? You don't need to know anything other than where it's going. And we're telling you exactly where it's going. So submit to the system, guys. Trust me on this. I know, right? It really sucks. I feel like I'm saying, like, trust me, bro. But we've been doing this for 3 years, and all I've been doing is proving the system out over and 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 over again. The difference between 1348 Legends and Titan AI, it's a whole different animal. Okay. I'm out. We're out of here, guys. I'm done. Johnny, have a good one. Yeah, there's so much money made here. Anyways. Peace out, guys. I gotta make sure I end the stream. OBS, please fix this. Peace out, guys.